Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome. Good morning. I hope you're all well. Now, I thought I would just briefly introduce this careers fair in a slightly different way. I'm used to generally facilitating these types of workshops for people who are maybe slightly older than you, usually maybe those who are in their early to late teens. And I noticed quite the vast majority of you, at least the ones I can see on camera, are pretty young, right? You guys are generally around sort of maybe between 9 and 11, 12, which is a very, very early time for you to start thinking about your career. And I think that's a good thing, but at the same time, you know, there shouldn't be any pressure to do so either. What I'd like to do is just start off with two things in mind. All right, just two things, and then we can move on to the meat of our careers fair today, which is having a look at the various different careers. A lot of people, when they are thinking about deciding what sort of career or what sort of job they want to go for, they consider it generally based on one principle only, right? Which is, how much is this going to pay me, right? How much am I going to be able to earn from this particular career? And whilst that is a factor to consider, in my opinion, I feel like this is not the most important factor, right? There are other more important factors to think about. And I want you to think about two things in particular, all right? So the first thing to think about is the purpose and meaning, right, of life. So there's a really nice quote by Pablo Picasso, which I absolutely love. And it talks about how purpose and meaning are linked to this idea of career, okay? So he goes and says that the purpose of life is to find your gift, okay? So the purpose of life is to find your gift. The meaning of life is to give that gift away, okay? So when we think about when it comes to our careers, right, we need to first of all recognize what is it that we are good at, what is it that are our strengths, the stuff that's been given to us as things that we are good at. And the moment that we recognize that, understand how we can implement that in a career of our choosing. Because the moment we understand that, we start to enjoy what we do, and it no longer becomes work, it becomes play, right? We enjoy what we're doing. So that is the first thing that I want you to consider. And the second thing I want you to consider, and I just want to show you this model, which I think is absolutely fantastic. If I could just ask the host at this moment in time, just to give me screen sharing capabilities, if that's okay. Yeah. I just wanted to go ahead and showcase a model, which I think is of great interest. Thank you very much indeed. So let me just go ahead and share this. Could I just get a thumbs up on camera if everyone can see that? If you're able to see, yep, amazing. Thank you very much. Okay, so this is a Japanese concept, okay, which is known as ichigai. All right, that's what it's called in Japanese, and you can see it right there on the front of this, right in the center of this model over here. Okay, now what ichigai is a combination of 4 different things, right? At the moment we managed to hit these 4 different things, we've achieved this thing which is known as ichigai. So it's a combination of what we love, right, which is right over here. And I just thought I would go ahead and just use this, okay? So what you love, okay? What the world needs, okay? So what people in the world need right now in terms of services from anyone, what you can be paid to do, and what you are good at, okay? So what you love to do is what's known as your passion, okay? And that's a combination of what you're good at and what you love together is what's known as a passion, okay? When you are in love with something that you really like to do, okay? So let's say, for argument's sake, you like to build and put things together, okay? If you love to do that and you recognize that the world needs things to be put together, so for example, bridges or houses or roads or schools or hospitals, these things, they need to be built. When you have a combination of these 2 things, you have what's called a mission, okay? Now, when you have something that you recognize that the world needs, and you're being paid for it at the same time. Okay, so if I give you an example, you may recognize that the world does require, let's say, doctors, right? People who need to be there in the medical sphere, right, to help treat people, and you're being paid to do that. This is what's known as a vocation. And then finally, you've got this last bit, which is where we're paid to do something. We're really good at it as well. That's known as just a
يبدي كل
profession.
المستقبل الكارير
But the
athletics
moment we get
dentistry
all four of these
business
all together, right? So we know that we're good at something. We love doing that thing. We know that the world needs it, and we're also being paid for it at the same time. We have what's known as this thing called ichigai. Okay, so something for you all to think about when you are considering the types of careers that are out there, and you have got a whole menu of different careers that you're going to be having a look at today, inshallah. And I'm very grateful for the fact that the Iraqi Welfare Association has put this together. This is a very unique opportunity for you all to have a look and see what type of career might interest you. And feel free, just like any menu in a restaurant, feel free, it's a buffet style, so pick and choose what you think might be of interest to you. And the one advice that I'd give at this moment in time, especially at such a young age for all of you, is just experiment. Try out different things. If you don't like something now, try something different. Try something else. If you think you like it, don't just stick to it. Try something different as well. Always try and experiment with different skill sets, different sports, different activities, and that gives you a chance to understand what you really love and potentially what your passion could be, and thereby your career.